the latest. Thank you for your love and support. I appreciate you all. This is Aduba channel and you are welcome. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Hit the notification button. On this channel, I'll be sharing educative content with you. Content that has to do with the African, bridging the gap, like the way we see our brothers and sisters or ourselves being brainwashed into believing that moving out of the continent is the best way for us to solve our problems. Today we are going to look at a reaction in the United States of America whereby our brothers and sisters who are there are telling the truth about what is actually happening in the continent and in America. Like they said, those brothers and sisters we see in the United States of America driving cars, holding iPhones, holding certain things or living in apartments and other properties, these properties are not paid in cash like we see happening in Africa. In Africa, if somebody says this is my house, it means that you have built the house from scratch. Everything here is cash, unlike them.
Having money in America and having money in Africa is two different type of I got money. People in Africa, they really got money, okay? They really got money. You could own a car here, you could own a house here, you could own every technical device, an iPhone, a MacBook, you could own all that shit. But where's the receipt proving that you actually own that shit? And I mean like you paid for it cash. Majority of the things here in the US, cars, houses, big shit, like expensive ass shit, don't nobody really own that shit. Everybody's making payments on that. In Africa, they own that. They pay for it cash. There's no such thing as a down payment for this. There's no such thing as monthly payments for that. Everything is owned. Like they own that shit. Okay? They paid for it cash. It's a different type of I got money over there. You see somebody with a big ass house, just know they bought that land. They built that house brick by brick, cash money, bitch. Like cash. Cash, okay? You see somebody with an iPhone, they not making payments on that iPhone. They own that shit. They went and bought it cash. You see somebody with a 2025, they own that shit. They paid for that cash. They don't have none of that. Like what we got over here, mortgage payment, they don't have that. Everything is paid for cash. That's where the real money is at, bitch. They got money over there. You cannot go over there and try to flex that like you know you got that US money, bitch. They got it over there. They got it. You see somebody with a big ass house, you go to their house, just know they own that. They not making no mortgage payments, but you try to explain that to them, they gonna be like, ugh, oh, you poor. Some of y'all might be like, well, it's Africa. Things are not even that expensive. It's equivalent to what we pay here. There are literally lands and houses that cost $500,000, $1 million. They got $1 million homes that people paid cash for. Like, bro, when you, oh my God, like it's crazy to even think about this, but listen, you see somebody over there and they got their house, they got their car, like you need to be like, wow, cause they own that. They own that. Like they not making payments on it. They own it. Like they own it. It's theirs. It's a different type of I got money over there for real. They got money. They got money, okay? It don't matter how small the house is. If they own the land and they got a house on that land, they got more money than you because they own that shit. They pay for that cash money and built that brick by brick. They got more money than us, bitch, for real.
Why is gas $5 a gallon? And like, why do I have to pay rent? And why is rent so high? And why do I have to drive my car and get the gas that I have to get to go to the job that I have to pay for rent? Why do I have to do all of that stuff? And why are you making it so fucking expensive to do it? I don't even want to get out and pump my gas. It feels like getting out and just knowing someone's gonna fucking stab you. Why would you get out? This is beginning. This is the beginning of life. What am I supposed to do forever? I have to get a fucking horse. I'm fucking stressed out! I'm fucking stressed! We should not be working like this. I work my ass off and I can't even fucking pay bills, bro. And they always say don't compare yourself to others, but I see people going to what the fuck, Coachella, and fucking like buying all types of shit, just pointless fuck you money, and I'm over here and can't even fucking pay my fucking rent, bro.
I recently posted a video about how Africans that have money actually have money compared to Americans. Like, for example, you could see an African here in Kenya driving around in a 2010 BMW. And in America, that would be like, oh, that's so old. It's such an old car. The thing is, 9 times out of 10 in most African countries, they don't have the same credit system, unless it is maybe in Southern Africa, that you can pay over time. So that means that these people had to actually put their money up and pay. And so I'm saying, Africans think that we're all so successful in the United States because we have the newest iPhone, the nicest car, when really all that shit is on credit. And I keep telling people, credit was created. It was created for people to buy things that they could not afford. And then people like to make the example of, oh, well, Jay-Z just bought a $2 billion mansion. Yeah, there's levels to it, right? So when you get rich, credit becomes a game, right? There's a leverage that Donald Trump uses. There's stuff that people do. There's a whole game whenever you play the rich side of credit. But for you motherfuckers that are like making under $500,000 a year, including myself, credit is an option for, hey, okay, I don't have $500,000 to drop on this house. I can't afford it. For some reason, that's killing you guys' ego by saying you can't afford it. That's literally why they fucking created that system. That's why we can enjoy more luxuries in African countries, because they created a system for you to buy now and pay later, right? And so Africans think that we're so successful when really about 90% of, most Americans don't even have $500 to their name, and let alone good income. And so they are literally one paycheck away from that brand new BMW i8 that they're driving and all them finance bottles they popping in clubs and a new iPhone. Let them miss one paycheck and they're going to have the net worth of a boater driver.
Like they said, when you come here, if somebody is driving a car, the person has bought it cash. If the person owns a property, you have bought it on, like, you are not on paycheck like what is happening in the United States of America or other parts of the Western places. So people who are here are actually richer than the people that we see outside of the continent. But because we are sold a different narrative about the continent, we believe that those people who are over there are rather richer than us. So for that matter, we will do everything possible in our power to leave the continent and go there. Africa is not a poor continent like we are made to believe. Africa is a rich continent. Everything here is of importance to these people. And in order for us not to see the value of what we have here, they need to create a different narrative in order for us to move out of the continent. If we all should remember home and then regain our consciousness, we are coming together to fight against the people who are into the continent carrying the resources and making sure we are poor. So they sold us this narrative, and that is the reason to which you see us here doing everything possible, selling all the properties that we have just to get there in order to have a better life, because they told us that living here is hell. But as much as Africa is hell and we want these people not to come here and we are sacking them, they don't want to go. They don't ever want to go. So now we are having the people who are living there giving you and I the true lifestyle, the true happiness of this places that we are yearning to go. So if you are an African who is here thinking that this place is hell, so for that matter, you need to move out of this place. You need to get yourself informed about the situation over there before you think about selling your house just to go there and then be struggling to make money to put up the house that you've given out, that you sold out. Here is better, here is heaven, here is everything. And like some of our brothers and sisters who are also there, the Black Americans who have the negative information about the continent, believing that Africa is poor and we are living on trees. I hope you can also have access to this information and learn about the continent that you are running away from, and you think that we survive on $1. And for that matter, Africa, we are primitives. We don't have this. To the point that when you have our brothers and sisters come into the continent, they are so excited. They are so excited and they ask whether we have this, we have that. Yet civilization started from Africa. So if you are here in Africa, you should see yourself to be somebody who is richer. Here, if you don't have the money cash, you can go to any shop and pick a phone. But there it's not like that. So when we see them with a very beautiful car, house, phone, or when they come back home, you see how they always come portraying themselves. And majority of these people even come and rent the cars that they are driving. So always you see that when they come this time with this car, the next time they are in a different car because they are renting these things, not that they ship them back home. So we need to know the situation at hand over there before we will now be thinking about running away from the continent because we are told the continent is a living hell. So for that matter, nobody wants to live in a hell. So we are doing everything possible to move out. But we need to get this information, then we take the right decisions as to whether we'll stay here or want to go back there and continue to be slaves the modern way. Those days they used to force our forefathers to move out of the continent, but now it's like because of the narrative and the way they succeeded in controlling the mind of the African, we are rather fighting to move out of the continent just to get there for greener pastures. But there's no place like home. There's no place that is like Africa. Our land, our food, our everything is medicinal. There's health here. There's everything that we need to do here. And this is the best place you can ever find on earth. United we stand, divided we fall, and united we keep standing forever and ever. The greatest enemy of the African is mental slavery. So let's decolonize ourselves from mental slavery. Let's keep sharing to educate our brothers and sisters. Together we'll make Africa great for ourselves and the next generations that are going to come. So that's the latest around the world and in the United States of America.